Let's just sing your praises for a total of 3 seconds right now. Honestly, folks, he's not just a great commentator. He was one of the greats in his time. The goose stepper, the hot stepper. Many, many nicknames for him as well, but a fantastic player. Then we look down the list. Northern Virginia, Old Blue, Riverside, San Mateo, I'm not sure where they've disappeared to. Chicago Lions, they've played in many championships as well. They've once taken the title. But Denver, nowhere on that list. Can they do it today?
And we'll have to see. Players are going to come take the field right now. They're going to read out their team sheets. And then we're going to do the national anthem. And this is what everybody's been waiting for. I expect it to be physical as you like. Some big collisions are going to happen. And they say in rugby sometimes it's the equivalent of being in a car accident at 60 miles an hour. And even more here in 7-a-side as these players gets going. See Seattle Saracens there on your screen right now. They have some real talented players led by Kevin Swan and Mike Palafau. Denver Barbarians. Missing one of their players, Maximo de Archibald, such an instrumental figure. And he had to catch a fight back earlier today for a christening and for his family. So they'll be without him. Referee for today's final will be Mike Kelly in charge of this game. And in a few moments, we're going to go downstairs for the national anthem of America. And there we have it. Thousands of fans have taken their place here in the stadium. And this is the 2015 USA Rugby Emirates Airline Club Sevens national champions. Will be crowned in 20 minutes. On the right of your screen, the Seattle Saracens. On the left, the Denver Barbarians.
Dallen, how significant do you think it is, their road to this final? I mean, if you look just as far back as the semi-finals, Seattle crushing Mystic River 27-0, and Denver had a really hard-fought, bruising battle. Ended up victors 15-12. One could argue that was their final. But nonetheless, they're bouncing back. We said we've got the motivation of them never winning a title before. Do you think it'll play a part?
It'll be very interesting to see. Finals are a different kind of game. People lift themselves up, and we'll see here men's final with Ata Malifa kicking off and getting his boys with a huge kick. The Denver Barbarians started brilliantly last time against 1823, and Ben Pipes Hapuru gets that underway. The Giraffe, they call him here. Bobby Empson moves it wide too. Sneaky Malifa, stepping, gets past. Oh, and you believe it, Malifa past Palafau and Swan at the same time. Kevon Williams comes now to set a great ruck. Malifa against the old teammates. Yosefo, they've got to score here. Pinkelman on the outside. It will be the Corndog Collins will touch down. Logan Collins, the man from the cornfields, has just scored what could be his most important try in his career.
Well, you couldn't start a final in any better fashion, and what a great display of Sevens rugby. From the restart, plucking the ball out of the air, Denver, similar to an Aussie rules mark, getting high up there, claiming possession, and then spreading the ball nicely. Malifa stepping 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm not sure, might have been the whole 7 of Seattle. Offloading, spreading it back. I mean, just fantastic play. Malifa, he is a danger man.
Oh, he certainly is. And he came off the bench yesterday. He's starting today because Maximo de Archibald is away. And wow, I'd love to see a replay of that eventually. And it was Kevin Swan and Mike Palafel, two absolute legends of the game, that just got left in their wake. And Malifa causing the damage with those silky feet of his. His twin brother is here as well, just stepping spectators in the stands. And it is 5-0. Denver take an early lead. All to play for here. It's the kickoffs that are the most important part. And Malifa puts another bomb up. The giraffe comes down. It's taken, though, by Duchel. Eric Duchel does brilliantly there for the Saracens. He lays it back, former Belmont Shore national champion. And now they move it to Palafel. Benjamin Button, they call him. Kevin Swan slips and falls a little bit. Gets up and gets a penalty against him for hitting the ground. He knows he did that accidentally. And now he tries to get Pinkelman in a tackle, but he gets squirted away. Pinkelman with a dummy. Denver starting off like an absolute bag of cats here. Now they move it to the left. Kevon Williams with a beautiful pass to Malifa. Oh shucks, it's Schuster. Oh, there he goes. Look at him, Malifa, stepping everybody 3 times. And now Bobby Empson tries to get the ball away, but he gets absolutely smashed in the head in a tackle, and this could be a serious call here.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see the result. I mean, he got monstered, but he was slipping in the tackle, Dallen. He got hit high, but again, the referee might think it was somewhat accidental. He was already committed to the tackle, just lost his footing. Like a bell ringer, but don't think it was intentional.
Well, the player there was Jope Motokana. They say his favorite color is pink, but he saw red there as he went flying up with a huge tackle. And you're right, Empson was falling to the ground, but it's a penalty to Denver Barbarians. And 7 minutes left on the stadium clock. 10-minute halves, of course. Denver 5-0. They're in the lead. Malifa shifts it on to Yosefo, the Eagle 7's flyer. And now Kevon Williams, speaking of flying, he lays it back nicely. Yosefo moves it away from pressure. Now Empson in the middle. Beautiful cut-up pass to Logan Collins. Now the giraffe on the outside. He gets monstered backwards by Duchel. And now Seattle Saracens with Eric Duchel into Malifa. Wow. That was bone on bone. And now Miles Craigwell comes into play. Onto the halfway line. Seattle Saracens with possession. Kevin Swan gives it to Rocco Maura, the man from Ice Age. He's like that little character running around on the outside, the little squirrel. He lays it back. Now Palafel. Good width here. Craigwell thinks he can have a dance himself. Rasaleki. And now Duchel, the battering ram, the beast they call him. Takes on 2 players. Craigwell flops over that one. They have advantage. This is good stuff here for the Seattle Saracens. Let's see a step, a switch. And laying it back to Rocco Maura. Now Kevin Swan. Oh, Malifa wants to come in and have a second take at him. But Swan thunders away with those thighs of his and throws a beautiful ball to Marc Craigwell. And that will be a score. And what a response. And that man, Kevin Swan, well, I tell you what, he once escaped from Alcatraz.
He's had a great start to the game, Malifa, particularly in attack, but you have to say he took a chance and raced out. Tried to startle Swearin, have a spot tackle, wrap the ball up, potentially turn the ball over, but Swearin, he switched onto it. He took advantage of the hole that Malifa left in defense, stepped around, caused a massive gap, and it was a fatal gap. Seattle, they've capitalized. 7 points to 5, Dallen.
Yeah, and a good conversion there from in front from Motokane. We watched the replay here, and that's the spot hit. Normally Malifa comes flying in and breaks people, but Kevin Swan spotted the gap and just cleverly put it on the wrist there with a wild, nice-looking pass to the outside. And the wild man himself, Miles Craigwell, latches onto that. Kevin Swan winning gold with the Maccabi team in 2013 in Israel. and you can see why. He's got skills and plenty to prove here in the final. He's back after retiring from the Eagle Sevens program and 15 setup, and now it's knocked back. It's taken by Pinkelman. Yosefo gives it to Kevon Williams. There's no space for him to move, but Malifa comes in and tries to rattle some cages. Laid back from Williams again. And Denver straight back on the attack. It's Pinkelman, the All-American. Empson skirts around the fringes. Bobby Empson. Oh, Bobby Empson got gas, could go all the way. Bobby Empson has surprised us here in the final and come through and scored a brilliant try.
It was a brilliant try, and it seemed to come out of nothing. And Pinkelman's causing to be a real handful. He has all tournament. That wiry frame of his, he's tall, he's strong, very hard man to put down. And I suspect that when he took the ball forward and nearly got through, drew in a couple of defenders. Defenders looking tired out there for Seattle. And that's where Epsom just scanned, looked ahead, found a hole, albeit small, but he's got the pace. He just slipped through like a slippery eel. Dallen Stanford of old.
Yeah, he's very shifty indeed, Bobby Empson. Just surprised the defense there. Malifa looking to add the extras. It's no good. So it's 10-7. Denver leads Seattle Saracens. 3 minutes to go. And you gotta say the Denver side is looking very polished compared to yesterday. They were very good yesterday, but today they've stepped it up a notch.
I have to agree. They're showing class and exactly right. They are polished.
Malifa again with that pinpoint kick. Jodarov comes down underneath this, pipes up Apuru, but he may have knocked it on. Duchel was in there as well. So Seattle Saracens will get ball here.
Just what Seattle needs. Again, these kickoffs sky high. I mean, you'd expect that from the two teams in the final. Every player right across the board has the skills, and they're going to have amazing kickers as well, and it just gives your team an opportunity to get that ball back.
Let's see what Swan can conjure up here with Palafau in the centres. Mauro's out wide on the wing. The flyer, formerly with the Chicago Lions and Bowling Green. And now, Mike Palafau, Benjamin Button has a crack. He gives it to Rocco Mauro. Can't get around Williams. Laid back for Swan to pick it up. And Malifa finally gets Swan. Little tussle off the ball there. They're having a good laugh in the final. And now Craigwell moves around to Rasalika. To the battering ram. The beast. The beat's cast loose. There he goes. It's the beauty and the beast. And the beast will go through and score in the corner.
Well, the beast, Duchel, he's had a massive half, Dallen. You watch every involvement he's had has been a positive for his team. He's plucking restarts out of the air, he's winning possession for his team. One stage he monstered a tackle and forced the turnover, nearly put his team away for a try. And then he decides, you know what, I'm going to score one myself. He's been a massive asset for Seattle in this final so far. Duchel, the beast.
The beast won a national title with Beaumont Shore before this. He's an army machine. The kick has the legs, but not the direction. And so it's 12-10, last minute in this first half. This is the Men's Cup final. If you're just joining us here at the 2015 USA Rugby Emirates Airline Club Sevens National Championships. And it is turning out just as we expected. And how important will this halftime break be with fresh legs coming in the second 10 minutes? We've got Joe Pay, Motokana. See if he can get a high restart for his team to collect. Craigwell jumps up and knocks it back brilliantly to Rasalika. Now Swan. Great pass. Back to Motokana. Oh, and there's almost a huge collision. Malifa came flying in with one shoulder outstretched. And now Kevin Swan cuts back. The man they call Spoons. He likes to get food delivered to himself and doesn't want to raise a hand when doing it. And now Rasalika looking for a little step himself. On the outside to Miles Craigwell, sets him up nicely. But the defense is solid on the spot. They have advantage. Rasalika again with that little step and he loses the ball. But there's going to be no advantage there. Ben Pinkelman made a great cover tackle.
Wonderful passage of play and attack from Seattle. But Denver equally up to the task in defense. I mean, they're so evenly matched at the moment, these two teams.
Rasalika taps and goes. The half siren has gone. Rockamara fending 2 players. And now they bring him to the deck. A lot of pressure here for Denver. Craigwell looks to disco dance himself. Plays it back infield. Now Rusalika dummies. Oh, that was absolutely magic. Rusalika has got more moves than Britney Spears.
You see that kind of stuff by Fijian international side at international sevens tournaments. Rusalika, I mean, brilliant. But here we are, Seattle, just again showing patience, a lot of patience. They had possession, they calmed things down. Denver looks solid in defense. You could see them probing left, probing right. Craigwell could have had a crack, but he decided, there we have a look at the replay here. He's just scanning, sussing out the situation, taking it in, great support there, and that's what sets it up. Recycled quickly, too quick for Denver.
Conversion off the upright is in. What a kick it is from that man, Motakana. And it's 19 points to 10. Seattle has weathered the early storm. 2 tries for the Denver Barbarians through Collins and Empson. And then a comeback from the Seattle Saracens. Craigwell, Duchel, and Rusalika coming through in the end and scoring 3 fantastic tries. And we're in for a good, exciting 10 minutes.
A storm it was indeed, Dallen. It was more like a tornado. In Iowa, they have plenty of tornadoes, and they had another one about 10 minutes ago from the kickoff. As we said, Denver, we wondered if they were a little bit battered, a bit bruised. Tough encounter in the semi-final. But tell you what, did not look like that at all from the kickoff for the first 5 minutes. Just flew through a flurry of attacks at Seattle. But Seattle, their class players, experienced, up to the task in defense and capitalizing with the turnover. I mean, it's really hard to pick who's dominating at the moment. Might look like Seattle are on the scoreboard, but 2 late tries. I wonder if Denver might be just tiring a little now.
So coaches coming into play right now. Jason Kelly for the Denver Barbarians. Done great work with them over the years. And of course the king of sevens, the Hall of Famer, Wasali Sarevi. His daughter was on display a little earlier in the Women's Cup final. And he gives the last bit of words to the Seattle Saracens. And we've got to thank a couple of our supporters here at USA Rugby, BLK, Smith and Forge Hard Cider, World Rugby Shop, Fly Emirates. Just a few of the great supporters of USA Rugby. And if you're just tuning in right now, I'm Dallen Stanford, and with me is former Australian Sevens International Marc Stcherbina. We're here for the 2015 USA Rugby Emirates Airline Club Sevens National Championships, and we've just crowned a women's title in the ARP, won a pulsating game, and now the men, 19-10, Seattle lead Denver. Lots to play for here in this final stanza as the weekend winds down. 384 players took the field this weekend, and there have been a lot of players on the radar for the Eagles as well, which is great to see. And now it's knocked down from the Seattle players, and Kevin Swan throws it inside. Beautiful work from him to Rusalika. Right from the start, Salika throws another dummy. That is absolute brilliance again from the big man. Just holding the ball out like it was a small potato, and straight through he goes.
Rusalika with a brace of tries. He's dangerous, this man. I suspect that the Denver defense know this. They hung off him as opposed to putting pressure on him. It just made them look silly dancing around. Denver really need to get back in this game. First and foremost, they need to win that ball from the kickoff. Not the start they wanted in the second half.
26-10. 9 minutes left on the clock. Sun is out here. Beautiful James Cownie Sporting Complex. It's been a wonderful weekend indeed. We see a replacement player coming in, and Ben Hapapura leaves the field, the giraffe, they call him. And he has had a wonderful weekend, really been key in those kickoffs. We'll see what happens now this time without him on the field. Pinkerman knocks it back though, does pretty well. And Denver come away with this one. That is great for them to see. James Hitt is in there also. Now Malifa, the hot stepper. to Yosefo. Yosefo turns on the gas. They get him. And a little knock-on coming in there. Tough luck there for Martin Yosefo.
It was tough luck. Malifa deciding to spread the ball wide that time. Every time he gets the ball, crowd's on the edge of their seat. Will he step? Will he run? I mean, he's so dangerous with his feet. Lovely pass out there, but they need to win their ball. You can't afford, especially at this stage. I feel there's been a momentum shift. Definitely Seattle looking stronger and stronger, gaining in confidence. That's a dangerous time. Denver, they need to do something now, Dallen.
They certainly do. In the back player, though, we've got an injured player, Rasalika, through a couple of dummies, and maybe have picked up a little bit of a strain there in the background. Much needed rest for some of these players and some water, because the final 20 minutes really does take it out of you.
I mean, these guys have played 5 games as it is. If you go all the way, you're asked to play another 20 as opposed to 15, 2 halves of 7, 2 halves of 10 in the final. It's a tradition. Once you're out there, of course, it's worth being there. Doesn't mean it hurts any less.
Motakana gets the play back on. Shifts back to Kevin Swan. Moves it to Palafau, the man who's won championships with the Gentleman of Aspen. Gets it back to Rockamaro. Rockamaro comes through like a little squirrel. Finds the gap. And now Swan moves it away from pressure. Craigwell onto it. Rasalika looks okay. He's on the field next to Craigwell. Duchel, the battering ram. He just wants to smash it up. And there he has possession right now. There he goes. Oh, the big step. The Samoan step just straight up into contact. Denver leaving their feet pinged there. Ben Pinkelman, nothing he could do. He tried to slow it down. And Seattle Saracens probably going for the touch here.
Yes, you can see Denver here just kind of hanging on. Dallen, that's normally the sign of a team that's running out of ideas. They know that Seattle's just getting more and more dangerous in attack, just breaching the line here and there. Trying to win the ball back, but win it back illegally. It's a sign of frustration and desperation. Seattle again with the ball deep into Denver's territory.
And they've got 3 subs coming on the field right now. We've got Tim Stanfield coming back on, and Emosi, Banivalu, and Ryan Snyder take the field. So 3 fresh legs just in the right time for Seattle Saracens. So Craigwell goes up. Banivalu might get another chance to throw it in. And Tim Stanfield, spoke to him. He's had a great tournament as well. He's on the wing. He's sporting the flashy cleats. A very creative player. Got a lot of gas. And it's thrown over the top, though. Collins has it now for Denver. Malifa, seeing what he can conjure up here. Beats the first man. Rides the tackle through. Now they have James hit. Spots a little half gap himself. He needs Empson there to support, and does. Pinkelman comes in to help out. Oh, flying up here. Huge tackle coming in off the ball. Almost there was Stanfield. And now on the outside, the speed sensation. Devon Williams hasn't really had enough options there, and hasn't got the ball quick enough so he can get his legs churning. And now Malifa. This is where open play, he can create magic, and does. Steps the first. Throws the dummy, though. The player's all over it, though. And looks like Seattle Saracens may have taken this, but one back by James Hitt. Denver with numbers to the right if they can move this wide. Empson flicks it back. And now the corn dog picks it up. Yosefo, you've got to see him light it up here. Back into the traffic. And a tackle and grab as well. Got to let go. So Collins gets the Denver side back on attack. They're absolutely gassed on their feet. Oh, his hit gets picked up. That'll be a yellow card, and this will level things.
You'd have to think it would. Silly play there. There was no need for Seattle. They're in a very commanding position. Last thing you want to do with 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in a final, when you're in the lead, not a massive lead, just go and make a yellow card infringement like that and put your team under pressure. That's 2 minutes. They're going to be with 6 players, not 7, Dallen.
Yes, Banivolo just come on the field, and now he goes to take another break. Malifa looking to capitalize here on Denver. Well, Maximo de Archval has to watch from back home. He's taken an early flight back. Malifa is in there as well. They get another penalty in the red zone. Malifa will go quick. Stepping himself. Nesse Malifa. Can he score this? Gets the offload away. Corn Dog comes flying in there as well to help out. The ball is there. They get another penalty in a row. If they go down to 5 people, that could be very crazy. Great switch. Dummy switch it is indeed. Oh, he's dropped the ball. Kevon Williams has scored a try without the ball. Oh.
Dallen, I wonder if that could be one of the defining moments of the final. That was their chance. 1 man extra. Certain try. Could have brought them back to 26-17 if the conversion is successful and well and truly back in the game, but no. Instead, Seattle are well and truly out of jail. And with 3 minutes 30, what do you think, Dallen?
Wow, that was a time to score right there. Cannot believe it. I've always told younger players just to dive and clutch the ball very close to your body and score. Don't worry about reaching out. Your momentum will carry you over. You just need to get on the white line. Nothing further is needed. And anyway, be that as it may, it's 26-10. And Kevin Swan's taking his time to get to this ball. The man who could finish a triathlon while unconscious picks it up right now. Kevin Swan pushes them off and just brute strength. There he goes. Monsters his way up into the 22. And now Duchel, speaking of monsters, the beast, tries to throw it back in field but goes out. And if you're Denver, you want to go quick with this lineup. And they do. Malifa almost gets tackled away. The ball spits loose. And they're going to settle in for a scrum, which will suck up valuable time, which Denver do not have.
Oh, both teams looking very tired here, and that's why you see the mistakes coming thick and fast, Dallen. 2 minutes 20 left. If Denver's any chance of salvaging this match, and they had an opportunity with Seattle a man down to get some quick points, Seattle have been able to hold them off.
And one thing I will say, though, I'm watching the stadium clock, and only now did they stop it. Earlier when there was an injury, they let it run. So we'll have to see if there actually is a bit of injury time here. Kevin Swan getting attended to. He has really had a captain's knock. He has played some of the best rugby that we've seen in many years, Kevin Swan. And he may have to take a break on the sideline here. Could have taken a knock to the head, which is not a good thing to see. So we hope Kev's okay. Long-time Eagle legend. And still playing this game at the highest level.
Yeah, he's had a brilliant game. He's had a great tournament. You need these kinds of leaders in your team, just rallying the troops. Very lucky to have a man like that in their team, Seattle Saracens. As we see now, replacement coming on.
Yeah, that's Shane Moore sporting the Guinness-looking haircut of his. But Kevin Swan leaves the field. The man only joined Facebook in March this year just to focus on his rugby. He's not much on the social media, which is good to see. And now Denver, see if they can score here. Empson looks to try step his way through Duchel and gets tackled. Moore comes in to help out. Collins moves it away from pressure now to hit. Malifa racing up there is Stanford. He knows Kevon Williams is quick. Maybe that's why he's flying up to try stop something. But Yosefo, they have advantage. They've got to score now. Do Denver. They move it across to Empson. Empson picks up the Guinness man and ends up with a foot into touch. And Seattle Saracens, they've got to be ecstatic about that.
Absolutely. Just Denver, I don't think they're doing enough to really stress that 6-man defense. Remember, they're a man down, but to Seattle's credit, staying tight, staying connected, working extra hard. I mean, each player is having to put in more effort than they normally would to make up for the player that's not out with them. Once again, they get out of jail.
Bunny Vulu, the underhand throw to Miles Craigswell. Offloads beautifully to the man in the middle, Snyder. And now Seattle Saracens just moving it away to Mike Palafau. On the outside to Stanford. Stanford will have a little crack against Devon Williams. Will the Fen come into play here? Throws it down. And that was a great bit of defensive work there from Kevon Williams.
Well, it's just a great one-on-one battle, wasn't it? Stanford's been out there just waiting for the ball, begging for the ball, calling, screaming. We haven't seen him all game. You can see how fresh those legs are. Those fluoro orange boots were just like a circular orange whirl as he sped down the field. But Williams, great cover tackle. And that would have taken a lot out of him as well.
So Denver Barbarians We said they've never won a national title, but have appeared in 20 of them. And they're going to be moving it around here. Malifa, the playmaker. Oh, Malifa. See what he can do here. Probably just move it away. And get Yosefo. Such a dangerous runner. Do a little double wrap around. Malifa slips a little bit on the ground. And now they've got to release him. Big counter ruck coming in. And they knock the ball on. And we don't know how much time's exactly left for the referee's clock, but got to be close to full time here. 26-10. Seattle Saracens have stormed in this final.
You certainly have. Just played calm and collected. Kept to their patterns, Dallen. Been wonderful in defence despite conceding 10 points, but it was only 10 points. Able to pile on 26. Denver now with their last throw of the dice.
Empson comes around out the tunnel. They get the penalty in the end. Empson will just go quick with Malifa on his shoulder. He finds Hit. Hit beats the first man, takes Snyder on and then loses the ball. And that's got to be it. Vanivula just kicks it ahead. Shane Moore has it. A little jump step of his. And now just banged out by that man, Mike Palafau. And they're going to play the line out, says the referee. Time is up on the clock, but the referee has probably a little bit of extra injury time to go.
That's right, you'd mentioned that. They weren't stopping the clock. So we're not going by the scoreboard clock, we're actually going by the referee's watch. This crowd here just eager to get into the bar. Come on, referee. We want to celebrate this wonderful weekend. A couple of cold ones.
And here they go with Malifa. Outside to Yosefo. Kevon Williams looking for the wraparound. Oh, Yosefo bumping Stanford and then fending him angrily in the face. He has it out for the young winger. Coming in from the side here, hands in the ruck is Mike Palafau. Not happy about that, but should be very happy that ahead on the scoreboard. And Malifa is going to finish just by himself with a little step on. He beats Palafau. Kevon Williams takes it up to the 22. Empson moves it wide. And here they go. Denver Barbarians. Huge tackle coming in from Marc Craigwell. Oh, that probably measures 7.8 on the Richter scale. And he has thundered into this game. Ball in hand and on defense as Miles Craigwell. The Denver Barbarians pile in. The ball will split loose. And this is it. This is to end the game. It's a race-away try. And it's that man, Bunny Valu, will go all the way in on the corner, untouched, running away like a chicken from the movie Rocky.
Exactly like that, Dallen. I was thinking that myself. Oh, Denver. Valiant effort. Seattle just too strong in the end. They are champions for the third year in a row. Heartbreak for Denver. They just can't get this monkey off the back. When will they win their first title is the question. Well, they're going to have to wait another year at least before they can come up with an answer. But fantastic rugby on display, not just in this final, but all games here over the weekend here in Des Moines. Wonderful venue, Dallen, you have to agree. And I think a lot of smiles on players and supporters' faces here. They've all had a great weekend, and I think we can agree it was a fantastic success.
Conversion unsuccessful. And there you are, your new champions. We watched the last little bit of the highlights here. That tackle comes in. Huge spot hit from Miles Craigwell. And that definitely earns him a lot of high fives from his teammates. And Pinkelman was just on the end of that. The ball just spun loose up here. Players and bodies just kept piling in. And that man, Bonivalu, ever present. He didn't even need Miles Craigwell. He needed to score a try himself in this final. And that ended up bringing it to 31-10. Seattle Saracens too strong, too good. And they are the champions in 2015. And what a way to do it. Absolute magic from the players on the field. So many guys deserved the MVP nomination, and we'll probably get filtered that pretty soon. In meantime, players are getting congratulated by each other. And right now we have presenting over here is the Greg Edwards from Catch Des Moines. President and CEO. He's going to be handing over the huge trophy. In fact, that's one of the biggest trophies I've seen. So the woman carrying one of those around earlier as well from the ARP side. And now presenting it here. What a wonderful occasion at this stadium, the James Cownie. And we're going to go downstairs and for the presentation. Just thanking the Denver Barbarians and Atamalifa. What a player he was today for his team. That win against 1823 was something of absolute brilliance.
It was indeed, Dallen. As I mentioned, maybe it was just too taxing on the body. So you heard the announcement. Seattle Saracens deserved victors. Sali dancing. Why wouldn't you?
And the big beast takes the trophy up. Hands it out to Captain Mike Palafau. Palafau, so good. He gets mail delivered on Sundays. And he really has been a leader for his team. Benjamin Button, they call him. The ageless wonder. And obviously a shout out there to Kevin Swan. He really shown a lot of trickery. Could potentially end up at one of the Vegas casinos. Kevin Swan has just been so slippery this weekend. Such a instrumental figure in this victory here.
What do you think? Is that this be his last Nationals appearance, Dallen?
I think for Kevin Swan, perhaps. Mike Palafau, I mean, no one has actually seen his birth certificate, so we don't know. He could actually be 25. He's running around like a young buck. And he'll be back, I bet. So Seattle Saracens become the most successful Sevens team in history. They have now won 7 titles in the USA Rugby National Championship. And the MVP award has been chosen. And it is the Smith & Forge MVP is Atamalifa, the absolute slippery, sleek sensation, has come through and taken that award, and well earned as well. It could have gone to a handful of different players. Meanwhile, you look on your screen, the Seattle Saracens, men and women, getting together for a nice photo, and what a great club they've started there.
Powerhouse, I think you can call them, rather than just a club. So, just having a look there. All smiles, all cheers. Every right to the women not quite taking out the final. But what a wonderful weekend for all concerned. Wearing that Serevi on the chest. Now Atavis doing wonderful things for American rugby. Atavis. Sali Serevi there. Wonderful figurehead for them. Particularly with sevens. In Denver now. Can't see it on your screen, but just huddling up, ruining their missed chances. But a nice consolation. One of their players, Atamalifa, taking out the MVP. And that'll at least soften the blow of this loss in the final.
So thanks for joining us here at the 2015 USA Rugby Emirates Airline Club Sevens National Championships. We crowned 2 champions. The American Pro Training Rugby Center, ARP, as they're referred to, won the Women's Championship, and the men here, the Seattle Saracens, have come good and won the final as well. So for Paul Emmerich, Marc Stcherbina, and our entire production crew, I'm Dallen Stanford, saying thanks for tuning in.